Hello, fourth graders. I'm so bummed that I haven't been able to do a live lesson with you yet, but I wanted to send you another video this week to just touch on some things to keep us kind of moving forward with our social emotional learning. So today we're going to talk about our feelings inside our emotions and what happens in our body with those emotions and some structures that we have in place to help us handle those emotions and make sure that we're able to make those really good choices. So again, I wanted to start here at our Related Arts counseling page. So if you click on that, it'll take you right to your fourth grade guidance page. Thank you to those of you who checked in. I loved reading your comments. Remember, this is a way that if you check in here, you can get a hold of me to set up a time maybe to meet, or just let me know how things are going. I love to hear from you, especially when I don't get to see you as much as I normally do. Another thing I want to mention is if you do need to get a hold of me or you would like to contact me to set up a meeting, make sure you can always message me through Canvas as well. Okay, just like you've messaged teachers, you can message me through Canvas. So those are two ways that you could get in touch with me, and I would love to talk to you if you're feeling like you need somebody or you're stressed, or if you have something that you want to kind of talk about. So today we're on lesson 2, our parts of the brain. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you this video and screen record at the same time. If you get a chance, please watch this video. It's got some amazing information about your brain. Your brain is like a fist, like your fist. And I think I've talked to some of you about this already, but your brain is like this fist. And the front part of your brain, the cerebral cortex, this is where all of your thinking happens. So when you're in school and you need to problem solve or you're kind of trying to figure out and make decisions, this prefrontal cortex is where that decision making happens. It's a very, very important part of your brain. Right here, if your thumb is inside of your fist, this is your midbrain. This is where your emotions take place. So something happens around you, and in your brain, in your midbrain, those emotions start popping up. From there, your emotions trigger thoughts in your cerebral cortex, or they trigger reactions, your actions. Down here in your lower brain, I kind of call it your downstairs brain and your upstairs brain, but down here in your brainstem, this is where those reactions take place. This is the part of your brain that is responsible to help you breathe and keep your heart beating. Those things that happen in your body that you don't necessarily have to think about doing. They're just, your brain just does them for you. Well, this brainstem, this is where all those reactions take place. If your emotions, something happens and your emotions send a signal to your brainstem that you're in danger. Let's say you're walking in the woods and you come across a grizzly bear. It will send signals down to your brainstem that you're in danger. Your brainstem needs to do something right now. That means your emotions get so big that they flip the lid of your brain, and all of the information goes onto this brainstem. Your brainstem might tell your body, oh, you're in danger, you need to run, you need to freeze and do nothing, or you need to start fighting to help keep you safe. Those different reactions are all natural. Your brainstem is designed to tell your body to do those things to keep you safe at all times. The problem is, like in a situation where there's a bear, yeah, that's a big deal. But sometimes when our emotions get too big and it flips the lid of our brain, it's really not that dangerous. It's really not a situation where we need to fight or run away. But our brain, our emotions got so big that our thinking brain, our prefrontal cortex, this upstairs brain, isn't talking to our downstairs brain saying, it's okay, we can figure out we can figure out a solution to this problem. Or this really isn't that big of a deal. So for instance, I think of this when you get really, really angry. Let's say something happens at recess. Maybe somebody says something to you that really upsets you, and you get really angry at that person. If that anger, that anger gets too big and flips your lid, and all of your information goes down to that brainstem, you might start hitting, kicking, or yelling at the person who said something unkind to you. The problem with that is you weren't necessarily in danger, and that is maybe not the best choice to make in that situation. It might not make it any better. It actually might make it worse. So that's where we've got to be really careful. We want to try and make sure that we recognize those emotions when they start popping up in our midbrain, and keep our prefrontal cortex, our upstairs brain, and our downstairs brain talking to one another so that we can make good choices to keep ourselves and others safe. We're going to talk a little bit more about our brain as we go, because I want to actually have a conversation with you on it, but that was kind of our start of this. So one of the strategies, or one of the things that we've worked on, that we've talked about in the past, to help us recognize how our body's feeling, those emotions that are popping up, is using the zones of regulation. I'm just going to review the zones with you today, because our next lesson is really going to be, what do we do when we can recognize how our body's feeling to keep our lid from flipping, or to help our body feel better. But in order to do that, we have to first remember what is happening with our body in each zone. So let's go through these really quickly. The green zone, this is where we feel the best. This is where we want you as much as possible. And I'm sure you want to be here too. You want to be happy and calm and focused, ready to learn. In the green zone, this is what your brain looks like. Your brain, your upstairs brain and your downstairs brain are talking. Your brain is happy and calm and able to think through all those tough problems or tough situations that are put in front of you. This is where we want you in school and when you're learning, because it feels good to be calm and focused, and it helps your brain store all that information that you're learning in your classroom. So this is where we want you to be, but we also know that that's not always going to be the case, and it's okay. We have things that pop up throughout our day that are going to change the zone or change how our body's feeling. That's completely natural. Being in any zone is okay. We will be in the blue zone and the yellow zone and the red zone sometimes. But again, we want to find a way to be in the green zone as much as we possibly can. So let's talk blue zone here. In the blue zone, our body's moving really slow. We might be sad, sick, bored, or tired. We have a lot of low energy in this zone. And the problem with that is it's really difficult to give our best effort. It's really difficult to make that good choice to maybe do our work, or listen to what our teacher's saying, or even just get up and be a part of something that maybe we don't really feel like we want to at that moment. When we have this low energy, it's important that we do something to help our body feel better, so that we can make the best choices for ourselves, and really it just feels better when we're in the green zone, when we're not feeling really tired, sad, or bored, or sick. Yellow zone, this is our caution zone. So if this is our brain and in the green zone, this is our brain in the yellow zone. We are having some big feelings that are starting to flip our lid. Our upstairs brain is starting to separate from our downstairs brain, and they're not communicating as well. So big feelings like being frustrated, worried, confused, stressed, those things, those feelings, those emotions start making it difficult for us to think through problems or to find a solution. So if you've been ever really confused in class, and you're not sure what to do, like you don't have any idea what your teacher's talking about, or and you're not sure what you need to do on your assignment. I've been there too. Sometimes we shut down. We just sit there and do nothing. That's when we're in this yellow zone. We're starting to lose control. We don't feel like we can actually think through the problem or say, okay, I'm going to ask a friend to help explain this to me. I'm going to ask my teacher a question to help me out. It's harder to think about those solutions to our problem because we're really starting to lose control. One that I don't have on here, and I wish I would have put it on here, so I'm going to add it after this, is being silly. Sometimes when we're silly, that's that energy building up in our body because maybe we've been sitting still for too long, or maybe we're just having a hard time focusing. Silly can be really fun, but it's also in the yellow zone where we have to take caution with it because sometimes being silly in a certain situation is not a good choice. It might be distracting to others. It might get us in trouble. It might even at some points be dangerous. So if we're recognizing that we have that energy building up in our body, that's where we need to say, ooh, I need to slow down. I need to calm my body down so I don't make a choice that I might regret later. Because if we don't slow our body down, a lot of those yellow feelings can quickly turn into these red zone emotions. If this is your brain in the green zone, this is your brain in yellow and probably blue, this is your brain in the red zone. When you get really mad or really scared or so excited that you can't handle it, you've lost control. Your lid has flipped on your brain and you are no longer thinking through your problem and problem solving to find a solution. Your brainstem has taken over, and this is where, if we're not really careful, we can make choices that hurt ourselves or others. Saying mean things, hitting, kicking, running away from a problem in a way that might put us in a scary situation, like getting lost or maybe running across the road. Those things can be dangerous. So if we're feeling like we're losing control or we're in this red zone and we have lost control, you notice this is starting to happen, or you're getting those thoughts of, I'm going to hit, I want to hit, I want to kick, I need to run. We need to stop. We need to stop and calm our bodies before we do anything else. That might mean you might have to go to a special place to help calm down. So maybe remove yourself from the situation. Maybe it's you need to talk to an adult to manage those feelings first and really calm your body down. It's important, boys and girls, that we really stop and calm before we try to do any problem solving. If you're still in the red zone, if you're still really mad at a friend about something that happened at recess, going up to them and trying to solve the problem when you're still feeling like you're right in the red zone is not going to work. Your lid is still flipped. You're not going to be able to think through and really listen to them. And it's probably just going to make the situation worse. So again, in this red zone, we just need to stop, take some time to calm our body. And once we start feeling better, then we can think of, okay, what are my next steps? How do I fix this? Okay, that was a lot. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching the video. We're going to review some of these things next week in guidance as well. But I wanted to start getting this information out to you because I know even in our check-in that I have on the guidance page, it talks about asking which zone you're in. So I did want to review those with you quickly. This is a really important strategy in helping identify how your body's feeling that can help you find some good strategies and tools to use to really stay in control of those emotions. That's what we all really need to work on in general, is how do we manage those emotions when they pop up? We know we're going to have red zone feelings and yellow zone feelings, but what do we do when we have those feelings to make sure that we're making good choices for ourselves and others?